Okay, so this was interesting. This was actually posted by The Drive. I saw it yesterday or the day before. And are you okay, Wombat? You're off.
I'm good.
I
Sorry.
hear literally everything you're.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sounds like you're
Noted.
typing or.
No, no,
Um,
no. Sorry.
so I decided, go to the source. Let's take a look at what they were actually agreed to, which I think there's some stuff we can learn. And especially since I triggered a lot of people, as usual, on my last breakdown of the last behind the scenes. So this actually clears a couple things up. So
In a
the first
brief
thing that I
84
noticed,
pages.
84 pages, but you know what? I highlighted so it wouldn't be that painful. So the first thing is they went to Miramar, and what I thought was interesting, escorted access to MCAS Miramar to enable actors the opportunity to experience flight simulator training. For familiarization and training will be captured by a second production unit. I thought that was really cool because when I took 7 months off from flying, not by my own choice, but because of the polycystic kidney disease deal, the squadron was actually at Fallon on a det, and they sent me to Miramar first because the Marines have like a whole like building of sims, and that's where I got requalled in NATOPS prior to going and meeting them on det to start flying again. So I thought it was cool that their first stop is Miramar, and they put them in sims because I think it all adds to the real nature of what they were training for and stuff. So, I mean, I thought that was really interesting, really cool for them to go to Miramar. Obviously, it's a Marine base, but they also filmed, I think they did the funeral stuff. 20 Marines to appear as a funeral detail for the filming sequences. So
somebody
sense,
dies.
right? Somebody dies. And then the first part of this agreement is all the basic, we'll let you do a movie, but here are our terms. They assigned a senior staff post-command officer to review the post-public affairs, the scripts, thematics, and weave in key talking points. That's, okay. Well, so you're going to have all the talking points from the Navy, which is, I mean, sure. They provided a SME to ensure all squadron spaces are sanitized, security concerns are met, unclassified tactics are demonstrated, and all production support requests are vetted. Not to interfere with mission, no-cost basis during the filming, which was 2018 to July of 2019. All movement of naval personnel, equipment, and aircraft not aligned with current operations will be at the production cost. And I think that's exactly how the first one was, right? Didn't they have to turn the carrier at the expense of the production company? So that's nothing new. Access to the Nimitz, which is pretty cool. This one, they built a bar at Coronado, provide a production company to pre-stage and fabricate it. I would have been awesome just to leave. Like, hey guys, here's your new bar. You guys keep it. But they ended up tearing it down.
Of course they did.
So the bar is obviously not a real bar. It's what they built. They put cameras on the Super Hornets. I thought that was cool. They're allowing the L-39 to execute rehearsal flights, principal photography. And the L-39s you saw in the behind the scenes, right? You saw the actors in the back saying, hey, we practiced in the L-39s. I think it's about 18 to 20 grand a day for Cinejet and these guys.
Really?
Because I think it's expensive. So
is that because of the cost of the L-39 or because of the cameras as well?
Everything. It's the gimbal. Okay. The gimbal is
so
the most expensive part.
L-39s, it'll be cheaper to run them.
Yeah, $1,000 an hour for fuel.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just waiting for those pop-ups to start donating money at $1,000 an hour so we can do this. Good.
But here's what I thought was interesting, and the Air Force would never allow this. All footage will require security review on set by an appropriate security clearance level naval aviator or security man. They're letting a pilot. They're like, hey, Wombat, come look at this film. And Wombat's like, yep, that looks good. Like, it's not like 27 layers and, oh, we don't trust you. They actually trust their pilots to do the right thing.
On paper. On paper.
I just thought it was cool that it was like, it's just a clearance level naval aviator. It's not anybody else. So, hey, Skid, what's up, man? Check it in. Support flying scenes with naval aircraft and naval aviators. Squadron supporting will track and detail non-training costs that the production company will reimburse the Navy. So they tried to align it as much as they could with the actual schedule. A Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron Blue Angels would conduct a flyover in 2019 when they're I don't know what this was for. I know the Blue Angels did do a lot of stuff for them. provide water survival ejection seat training. We did see that. And we did see that in the behind the scenes, which I grimaced at because I hated. Did you like water survival?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. Remember, I went through the E2 one and then the Hornet one. So the E2 one is
E2.
Okay.
Speaking of E2, there's an Easter egg in here. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I can't wait to show you. You're up, dude. They may have stolen the plot to your book. I'm just saying. It may have.
That sounds about right with the way the day's going. Sure.
Allow the production company's actors to fly in the back seat of the Super Hornet for flight scenes. Back seat. Do I need to say that again?
Yes.
Do I need to reiterate that? I mean, I don't like.
I just found it amazing that Tom Cruise was actually flying off a carrier in a Super Hornet by himself.
That's in here. That's in here. No, by himself. Come on, son. Come on, man.
I mean, what a great pilot.
Somebody will believe you, dude. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. Allow active duty personnel in the duty status to appear in film. Select pilots will be allowed to be filmed in cockpit during the sequences. Here we go. Here's another one. So everybody's like, no, they rebuilt a Tomcat so that we could have this movie. Subject to approval from the Naval History and Heritage Command and the National Naval Aviation Museum, authorized production company to borrow one Heritage Tomcat, repaint the aircraft with approved paint scheme, remove the ejection seats for onstage filming, and conduct maintenance to power aircraft to have control panel and lights operational in support of filming on board a CVN and a second location, TBD. All costs related to transporting, painting, and maintenance are production company's sole expense. They didn't fly a Tomcat. There are no flyable Tomcats in the United States. How many times do we have to go over this? Sorry.
One more. Are you triggered right now? You're right.
I'm happy. I like being right. I'm a whole big fan of being right.
Awesome. Set a pilot once.
This is how my week is going. Authorization to purchase standard U.S. Navy Air Force U.S. Navy uniforms via the exchange service, commanded to photograph and use all such uniforms in connection with the picture. Oh man, that's the biggest treat right there, to be able to go to the Navy Exchange and buy something.
Yeah.
Allow the production company to borrow 6 FA-18 Tactical Operation Flight Trainer seats from Lemoore for DRMO and a photograph, and use all such seats in connection with the picture. So, yeah, some of the scenes had to be green screened.
Wait, can I get one of those ejection seats?
Only if you make your movie. T.R. Matson. Oh, dude, I didn't even introduce you. God, look, it's T.R. Matson, author of Treason Flight.
You didn't. Hey, let's put my handle under Wombat. I bet you can. Would you get an updated photo of my Shelby?
And a Mustang driver. Sorry, I forgot to tell people you drove Mustangs as a thing.
One of those just sold for $175,000 on Bring a Trailer.
Oh my God! Well, that's probably because it's a Mustang. You can't drive it off. You got to get a trailer.
Okay, I'm sorry. If somebody wants to offer me $175,000 right now for that car, it's yours. Just so we're clear.
I'll give you $75,000.
No. Well, you're about 100 short.
You're 100 short. Yeah. Subject to CNIC and CNRSW approval, authorization to land and refuel the company jets at Fallon, Lemoore, El Sueto, China Lake, and Whidbey.
Whidbey, huh? Well, there's good filming up there.
Well, they did a lot of the thing. This breaks down what they did at every location, which also people were arguing about snow. We'll get to that in a minute. So they assigned a Projo, that's a naval aviation SME, subject matter expert. He is the sole authority to determination for ensuring on-set dialogue and action scenes are depicted accurately to appropriately and realistically reflect naval aviation.
From everything I've seen, it's perfect. It's
except for the part where it's like, we're the best of the best. Who's going to train us? Dude, how did you let that one slip through?
You never said that? I used to say it all the time.
I've never, ever in my whole life. I've never, ever. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. That's weird. Different careers, I guess. That's all.
Deadliest Cast Fishing. Hey, guys, love the channel. If you ever come to San Francisco, I'll take you guys fishing. Check out the fishing video.
Nice.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
I like the fish.
Paul says, did the Mustang have $150,000 in the trunk?
I don't know, because it was a Shelby, Paul.
It was $150,000.
Are we going to get aggressive this early? We just started. We're 13 minutes in.
13 minutes is plenty of time. Anyway, So this one guy is the guy you blame if they don't say the right thing.
Yet they don't put his name in there.
All right. The production company will cast actors, extras, doubles, and stunt personnel who conform to military service regulations governing age. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Height and weight. Tom Cruise. Uniform grooming, appearance.
Is he too small? Would he be anthroed out for height?
It depends on who you believe as far as his height.
His actual height.
Yeah, his actual height. I've heard conflicting things. If you Google it, he's 5'7", but if you look at other sources, he's small.
Huh. That's an interesting point.
I'm not going to hate on Tom Cruise.
No, it's fine.
In fact, I just watched Edge of Tomorrow, and I think that's his best movie next to Days of Thunder.
I don't think I've seen it.
Either of them?
I've seen Days of Thunder, obviously. Rubbin's racing.
Dropping the hammer, Harry.
Yeah, Rubbin's racing.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're not. Okay. The operational capability and readiness of military components shall not be impaired. So it was a not to interfere basis. No deviation from... Oh, here's this one, number 10. There shall be no deviation from established DoD safety and conduct standards. The DoD Projo, whereas designee, will coordinate such standards and compliance therewith. So when you see scenes like they're splitting a formation in fingertip or he's going through them vertically, no. Just no. They didn't do that in real life.
Shocked.
Shocking. Shock. Okay, we're going to scroll down to get some more highlights. Okay, here we go. I thought this one was just funny. It means nothing, but it says you can't carry DoD property, non-prescription narcotic, hallucinogenic, or federally controlled substance without prior coordination with the DoD Projo. So it's like, hey, dude, we want to have this party. Can we? And then he coordinates, and it's like, yeah, that's okay. That's the Naviest thing I've seen in this whole document. In no event shall the DoD use any... I thought this was interesting, too, because it's actually 180 from how it usually works. So, no DoD personnel will photograph actual filming, talent, or sets without prior approval, which actually happened. Remember, we saw those pictures of Tom Cruise shaking his fist at the Super Hornet at North Island way before this all started. But then it says, in no event shall the DoD use any production company-generated materials or any other materials related to the picture in a manner that might reveal plot points, not yet released, or suggests or gives impression that the cast or crew endorses the DoD or the military. That's usually 180. It's usually like it can't give the impression that the DoD endorses this film, but these guys wrote an agreement where it's like, well, we can't give the impression that
we endorse the DoD.
We endorse the DoD. So,
yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. So I thought
how did
that
that
was
get signed off on?
I don't know, man. And then in exchange for all this, the production company will place a credit at the end titles immediately above the special thanks, saying special thanks to the Department of Defense, with no less than one clear line above and one clear line below. Such credit acknowledging the DoD assistance provided. That's all you need. So when you go make your movie, as long as you thank them.
Dude, my book is already approved by the DoD. That's huge. Any producers out there, I'm just saying, that's huge.
Huge.
It's already gotten approval.
Yeah. So the DoD Projo will ensure that DoD personnel will comply with standards of conduct in accepting employment. So they were paying DoD personnel, I guess,
Nice.
to be in it. Yeah.
Must have missed my email on that one.
Yeah, escorted access around the pier. In order to do it, they had to pressure wash the pier to not make it look like a poverty pier. Which is like, that's funny. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, power wash the working area. So they had to move the barge into position and then power wash the working area.
Make it look less Navy.
All right, so the next place they went to was the Lincoln, 18 to 30th in August, filming the B-roll of the Fat Amy, F-18 carrier quals, daily flight ops, shipboard life, static shots, no interviews. They had to go to the program office to make sure they didn't, mess up with the F-35 stuff.
I bet that was hard, actually.
And then 15 production personnel. Yeah. And then...
I mean, because that plane's got... Yeah, that's interesting.
This was, though, if you look at the schedule, though, this was not agreed upon for... This is not where Tom Cruise did his cat shot. It's actually on the TR.
Gotcha.
So there's a whole lot of crap that this just reads. Eventually, they got a little bit more efficient in this. Oh, look, here's how you do a meal. And they redacted the whole thing. Okay, and then they're going to go to Coronado on October 3rd through 16 November, establish a base camp next to Hangar 526. I wonder why they're calling it Coronado and not North Island. Have they changed the name?
I think it's Naval Base Coronado, yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Back in I thought it was NASNY.
NAS I think they
North
changed
Island?
it. Yeah. It's
been a while. So they built the hard deck bar, so to speak, in Breakers Beach.
Who came up with that name? The hard deck bar.
Well, it's
would you go to the
hard deck?
No, I know what it is. I've seen the movie a million times.
As I prefer women, I probably would not.
Would you the hard?
If somebody just said, "Hey, dude, you want to go to the hard deck bar?" I'd be like, "Nope."
Okay, so I'll ask you this question: they are filming Mover's first movie, and they go, "Hey, dude, we're gonna name it the Hard Deck Bar." Would you be like, "No"?
I'd veto.
Or would you just be like, "How big is this check? Yeah, name it whatever you want. I don't care."
Depends on how big. Well, depends. Let's go back to it depends. Money fixes a lot of things.
That's true.
All right. Anyway, so they use the VRC-30. What's VRC-30? Is that the
CODS?
The CODS?
Yeah.
Ready room to include painting. So they got a new ready room out of the deal.
Good for them.
Good for them. And then, pending approval, they were going to loan 4 to 12 F-18 jets, depending on availability. So that's that shot you see where it says Fighter Town, USA, and they're all sitting on the ramp.
Yeah.
At NASNY. Jester says I need to come up with a better name for a bar. Why me? It's Wombat. Wombat brought this up. I didn't.
I just stirred the pot, and then they all attack you.
Yeah,
that's why I love being on this page.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Mover, you're responsible for what your guests say. So here's the schedule. They did a lot of stuff. All the
you didn't say your disclaimer yet, by the way.
Oh, that does not. It's in this description. This does not reflect the views of the DoD. Views presented are my own or my guests and do not present the views of the DoD or its components. So help me God. I don't want to look, dude. Quit jinxing me, okay? I don't want to jinx myself and
I'm just trying to help you out, man.
All right. So they used the P-51 tail number, that one, an AS-350, and a couple L-39s from the production company. I thought that was cool. Then they moved on to Lemoore. Fun fact about Lemoore: we went to a det one time there. And
there's very few fun facts about Lemoore.
One of our rental cars got stolen from the hotel. Yeah, and the cops show up and they're like banging on the guy's door and they're like, "Hey, was this your car used in this crime?" And he's like, "No, it was just stolen." Anyway, yeah, the Make Them Tell You No Bar and Grill. I like that. The mojitos with Mover.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Escorted access to Lemoore. God. Film a plane caption launch F-35 to include the hand signals used to communicate with the pilot and interview with the plane captain to describe his role. That's the documentary team that gets to do that. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So, yeah, I'd watch that documentary. I love the behind the scenes. I really love the behind the scenes of stuff to see how they do. There was a Netflix series about how it was made or whatever, if you watched that. Like the Ghostbusters one is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they went on to China Lake and they did some prep work there.
This tour of the U.S. is just getting better by the stop.
It's all
I think they peaked at Coronado, honestly.
Yeah. But dude, they rigged Dark Star. Dark Star is that space thing that we said needs to be out of the movie altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where they did all the China Lake stuff, where they rigged it and got it set up. And then, of course, in typical Navy fashion, whoever copied this ran out of ink.
Yep. Well, you know, we have to buy aircraft carriers. They're expensive.
So then they go back to China.
Cost more than golf courses. So.
Well, that's true. They go back to China Lake, and then they fly the P-51, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Hired aircraft, Tom Cruise's aircraft. They do the guard shack where they knock it over, and then they film the rescue helicopter. And here's the schedule. So Dark Star, work outside of the hangar. That's the stupid.
Isn't Dark Star
Judy?
Yeah. What's that
Dark
from?
Star,
so
Judy,
is Dark Star like an AWACS?
No, that's what they're calling the SR.
No, I know they are here, but I find it funny that in the real world, Dark Star's call sign is an AWACS.
I think they should have called it Judy.
Wow. It's interesting. Because that was Dos Gringos, right? They're the ones that sang that. Okay.
Correct. Dark Star.
I'm catching up. Catching up.
Well, it's 3-1 com. Judy is what you tell them to stop talking.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware. I've used it.
Oh, right, because you drove the
I was
Judy.
on both sides of the
Yeah,
Judy.
you were on both sides of the Judy.
Yeah.
Uh, so guard gate filming, and then kinetic mount something VFX plate. Ha! Told you there was VFX in this movie. Oh, there's no CGI. Schedule of events. What does that say?
I have no idea. You highlighted
Dark
it.
Star tells. I don't know. VFX plate shots. That's all. That's all I got out of that. And then there's a whole tracking thing. Then they went to Fallon.
Golly. Wait.
Yeah. And then they use a drone. And then, what's that say? What's that one right there?
The Hawkeye.
What's that one? The Hawkeye. Yeah.
It's a great time to bring up. You should go buy Trees in Flight. It's a great book. I got merchandise. It's on every. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That surprises me that the interior of the back surprises me.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, that's how I read that, right? Approved filming of naval aviators and
drone camera for non-air
nobody cares
filming.
about that.
Okay.
Drones.
Approved and/or NFOs in the interior of the E2 on the ground and not in flight.
So the not in flight is probably where they get away with it because they can just shut everything down.
In aircraft using NavAir approved internal camera mounts, approved aerial and ground air filming of the Hornet in flight, but not the E2.
Mm-hmm.
Approved use of commercial high-speed internet communication. So that's false because I know for a fact Fallon does not have that and did not. Like, it's low speed for sure.
Maybe they put in all new high-speed internet for the movie.
Yeah.
Probably had to.
I don't know. Anyway, so we'll scroll down and look at their schedule here. So crew prep Hornet, trucks, filming the interior jet work, Dude, this takes a lot of work to make a movie.
It does.
Filming the interior jet work. Doesn't look like they did. Brief scheduled accordingly. Filming of low-level jet pass. Jets flying overhead. Background plates for pop-up bomb impact and target area. Again, for visual effects. That people are like, oh, there's no way they use visual effects.
No, it's 100% real.
Then they go to the TR. Yeah. And this is where they got, this is going to be the Top Gun intro where it's like static aircraft, barricade drill. What is a barricade drill?
You know what a barricade drill is, don't you?
Why would they film that?
It's, I don't know.
Because I bet somebody comes back and needs it.
Maybe somebody has to take a barricade. That's aircraft. Really?
Yeah. Static
aircraft. Man, we haven't barricaded a plane.
Well, in this movie they do.
Maybe they do. Or maybe it's just a drill. Maybe it's just part of the flight deck. It's really cool to watch.
Crew filming. And then the main actor. So it only says one. Backseat ride of a Super Hornet with NavAir approved mounted cameras for multiple launches and recoveries. He got multiple out of this deal.
Lucky
so I don't know if the other actors even got to do cat shots. It might have just been Thomas Cruise.
Probably not.
Thomas Mapother.
Good for him.
Aerial filming of flight ops, and they used an Phenom. I remember yeah. Oh, that's how much food costs. Is it really that cheap?
No, that's just what it's worth on the ship. That's all. That's adjusted for inflation too.
Yeah. All right, so here's the schedule. Cast and crew walkthrough, rehearsal, final prep for the barricade.
Dude, it's all day. Wow.
Yeah, final prep for barricade work. Shoot the barricade going up. So really they are, dude. And then crew documents carrier qualifications from camera positions. Pilot prep for PM launch. That's all Thomas Cruise doing that. He did a lot of flying, dude. He actually got a lot of stuff out of this.
Good for him.
Film catapult position, 1 p.m. So this is the one where Rooster Phoenix, where they do this. Where remember I said,
yeah, you were
I
asking
you
about that.
I'm like, why is the plane captain for number 2 over there? And they're actually on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at that. E2C Hawkeye interior.
Ooh.
If time and resources
see this movie now.
If time and resources, they blew that off. They blew that off. They're like,
story of my life.
yeah,
Story of my life.
yeah. That's too bad. Aerial work. They did a low pass over the flight deck with a Phenom carrier aircraft. Simulated F-14 crash and a wide estate. Dude!
So the
That's what that's
Tomcat
for.
dies.
The Tomcat, yeah. So they must steal a Tomcat, land it on the ship, and crash it.
Sounds about right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Tomcat.
Mm-hmm.
Aerial work, jet to jet, F-18 approach and flyby, F-18 launch. Yeah, cool. So they take the Phenom camera to simulate the F-14.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's real cool. And then there's the Phenom jet 2011. You should buy a Phenom, dude.
I don't know what that is.
That's a business jet.
Is it?
This one's got a gimbal. Yeah, it's a really nice Phenom. That's what I mean.
Huh.
I'll
put it on my
here we
to-do
go.
list.
Department of the Navy. So they go to Lemoore, and then they approve use passenger waiting area at the air terminal building. Use the 122 hangar stalls. Filming actors in aircraft using NAVAIR approved internal camera mounts. Approved filming of the JSF and subsequent hangar. Approved filming B-roll of the airfield, and then the rescue helicopter again. That's a lot of stuff they got to bring.
Yeah.
And then the schedule, MH-60 SAR rescue scene with JSF in the background, staged in front of the JSF. And what is a jet shakeout?
I have no idea.
So there's a search and rescue scene, obviously. That's going to be part of this.
Yeah.
Filming interior and exterior sorties launching. Debriefs BFM sorties, Lemoore and Hunter Moe are range time dependent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yep. And then they go and do BFM, dogfight, low level, and in battle. So they filmed all that stuff at, where are we, Lemoore?
Lemoore.
Yeah, so they did a
Probably
lot of
right
stuff
overhead, right? Isn't that where
and
Hunter is?
this is what I was talking about. Like, a lot of these shots are superimposed over other shots, and people are
Sure.
like, "No, there's like," I'm not saying there's no mountains. I'm not saying there's no snow. I'm just saying they added effects to make it look more movie-y. Like,
Yes,
you know, you're
of
not
course they did.
swirling up snow at 10 feet off the ground. That's not
No.
a thing.
Also,
so they go-
Lemoore's good for that because they got the mower right above the field.
Yeah.
So you can film, and then
You're right.
dump right
And you
in.
can take mountains and then add snow to them, or add
Yeah.
more mountains.
Or
whatever.
in March, there might still be snow on those mountains in Lemoore.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they probably added stuff. I mean, they obviously did stuff. So, 6 March, Dark Star look and Dark Star elements. That's, yeah. Tarmac shots with jet, cast, B-roll. Mav PU funeral. Mav dies?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Who's PU? Phoenix talks to Rooster. Filming an interior shots. And then there's a hangar American flag scene with cast. Oh, that's the briefing where they're like, oh, outside. Look, it's a map. Then they go to Whidbey in March to do, I don't think they had actors flying. Used the approved internal camera mounts. But is it filming in flight, or is it just filming on the ground? Because it doesn't say here.
I mean, there's some great flying that you can get up there. That's
they're very specific when it says
AM
that.
sortie, PM sortie. So
Right, but that doesn't mean actors were in there. It just means that there was a sortie, because like it's later on, it's
Sure.
very specific about when
I
actors
gotcha.
are flying.
I got you.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, actors don't need to be flying to get some of these shots.
No.
But look at the list of aircraft that they use.
Dude.
AS-350, Augusta 109. That's all
Couple of
helicopters.
Gulfstreams.
G4, S-76, his P-51, his
He just
Learjet.
brought that everywhere. Is that how he got everywhere? Is that what? He's
Yeah.
like, just add that to every place we go.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
add
gonna
it to
fly
all the lists,
myself.
including the TR.
Yeah.
Escorted access to the Coronado and TR, so I guess the TR came into port. Permission to build the set, known as your favorite hard deck bar.
Yeah.
Permission to
my
build a
favorite
set
part of
known
this movie.
as that, and then
So
pending
hard.
approval, 4 to 12 Hornets as well.
It's so much stuff.
filming it. So they went back and filmed again, which is
BRC-30.
Yeah, more jets, P-51. Then they went back to Fallon. God, they were like back and forth, air to air and air to ground to air, filming from approved designated positions, approved filming, aircraft operating in the airfield, takeoff and landing. So that was their schedule, air to air filming. See, that's why I said it was different. Instead of just sortie, it actually says air to air filming,
Air to air
filming,
yeah.
Crew prep, safety briefs, low level ground positions via private helicopter, filming using mounts, the Fairview Peak. So they stood up on Fairview Peak and got a lot. I bet that vertical shot, which is obviously not the same mountains, again.
Yeah.
VFX.
I love
escorted
the chat
access
going
to
on
Whidbey.
Right now.
Yeah.
I love people hating on you right now. Cracks me up.
Yes. The Tom Cruise has more carrier takeoffs and landings. Well, I mean, is 0 the same as 0? I mean,
yeah, he rode in the back. My helmet bag has a lot too.
Yeah, I've got 1,000 hours of flying F-16s. So,
but you don't own a P-51.
I don't own a P-51 yet. I've got 400 hours in a Hornet, like actually flying with nobody in the back seat.
Well, it's because there wasn't a back seat.
Because it was me. Yeah.
That's the best kind of plane.
Escorted access to Whidbey in May. So they did a lot of filming in May, which wouldn't have a lot of snow in May, I would not think. See what they filmed in May. This was all the sortie filming with the Phenom. So again, mountain ranges, probably added snow to make it all look right. VFX are a thing. It's not a big deal. L-39 at 20 grand a day or whatever they were paying back then. A lot of money. And then they went to Fallon in June, which June's not bad in Fallon.
No, it's nice.
It's still not.
It's nice.
And this is where it says approved filming of actors and aircraft using the approved internal mounts. And I think this is when they actually did their flying.
Were they? No kidding. Yeah.
Like actually did it.
That's a good time to go up there too, because it's not super hot yet.
Yeah, because it says
so you're not going to vomit all over the plane. Not that there's anything wrong with throwing up flying.
Ground to air filming. Base camp reduction, ground air filming with mounts. Like, I think this is when they did the majority of their stuff, but it's hard to tell just in how it's done. And then this is when they storage of the hard deck bar for more. God, they stored it just in case they needed it again. And that's the end of it. I did see something in here that said aircrafts, and I must now be so triggered. Oh, here it is, right here. Aircraft. Come on, man. It's an official government document.
Where do we find such?